All right, so our video is looking really nice. It's matching color-wise, the perspective, the scaling, sight lines are working good. Hopefully yours is looking good too. Now we're going to focus on the audio in this lesson. We're going to clean up the audio, bringing in the better quality recording of the voice, however you chose to do that. And clean up a few other things. So here we go. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to find some room to put that in. So here's audio track number 3. Now if these are getting too big, you can just with your mouse move them, get a little smaller. The other thing you can do is use your control key to move up and down with your mouse wheel, or your alt key on top of this will size each one individually. So now that we have an audio track to work with, we're just going to take this recording down, place it into our timeline, and then just like we did lining up Brad's video and the recorded audio that came with the camera, we're going to do something similar here, lining up the audio with his other audio. So right away, if I make this look a little bit bigger, I can see there's the point that comes in here. I'm assuming that is because you can kind of start just reading the shapes of it and fitting it together. So I'm going to create some space here so I can move it over. And I'm going to take my track and we'll line it up to this point here. Use the plus key, zoom right on in, and then click, make sure my track's clicked, and then using my alt over key, move it over frame by frame. That's looking pretty good. Great, and that would be it. So now what I usually do is I just take this and I move it right over the top and replace. That can be a dangerous game to play because if it's out, now you don't have a reference. You can always undo. Control Z, and then just mute this track is another option. And so now we're listening to.
Well, I guess you could say I make worlds for a living.
There we go. But as you can see and hear, it's a lot quieter than the original. That's just the way that we recorded it, so we weren't taking in too much of the room ambience. The louder that our recorder was turned up, the more it would also pick up the room sounds too. So we found a nice happy balance. But to lift that up now in post, we will use an effect. I type in dynamic, and it's dynamics processing. So we click that, bring it down to the audio. And then just up here, we've got the effect dynamics processing. We click the edit button, and that brings up this window that allows us to do a few things. So this here is our dynamics compression meter. I forget the full name of it, but the way I work with this is I take this little node, click on it, and drag it over, and what that does is increases, as you can see down here, the compression and the expansion of this audio clip. Fancy terms, I won't get into it too much, but you get to play with this. I find that the compression ratio of around 2:1 is a really nice part, and then also I drop this down just a little bit, which increases the ratio a little bit, 3:1. And yeah, and so now when you listen back.
Well, I guess you could say I make worlds for a living.
A little bit better when I turn it off.
I have a company called eCourse Adventures, and we help eCourse creators.
And so I'm going to move this back over so I can see my decibels over here on the side. And what I'm looking for is the audio to always be somewhere between about 12 decibels, maybe just shy of 6.
Media makers, entrepreneurial educators.
You can see this yellow bar here. When I play, that yellow bar is the peak meter, And so it just kind of shows you where it's peaking so you can read it a little easier.
Transformational online education experiences.
It's pretty good. It could be a little louder. So then you can always use this here, this makeup gain, and add a few decibels to it. So I'm going to just lift it up by about 4 decibels.
It's media makers, entrepreneurial educators to build really engaging, transformational.
Great. There we go. That's looking pretty darn good. It's sounding good. Now what we want to do, I'll close that, is clean up this extra audio.
Yeah.
So we've got Brad's audio.
Long elevator ride.
And if you listen here, you might be able to hear just a little bit the sound captured from the laptop that we were using to cue Brad. So you'll probably have the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this little technique here where I can move the sound. So this line that we're seeing also has, undo, this is our volume decibels. So you can see in the clip it has this line that's often right in the middle, so it's hiding. What I can do is pushing the control button on my keyboard. Might be different again if you're Mac, just experiment till you get this plus sign beside your cursor. I'm going to just bring it right beside the clip where he speaks. Click it, boom, it gives a little node. I'll click beside it. There's a second one, and then I let go of my keyboard. I click this one, drop it down, and then now the clip's volume is 0 until this point. And then I'll do the same thing here. A couple nodes, and then he speaks here again, so I'll do that here. And then this whole shelf can drop. So this is a nice way when you're looking to selectively bring in audio from a clip.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't talk, it's silent. And he brings back, and then he talks. So if you had other layers, I might do the same, which I actually have done in my original layer, so you wouldn't hear anything as well, even though now I've rendered that down to become this main clip that we have. It comes back here, he talks.
So much fun.
And you can hear the original ding.
Fun.
Great. So I want to do the same thing here. And he doesn't talk to until here. Bring that down. Oh, I'm soloed, so I want to unsolo the track. That's why I couldn't hear the one before.
I wasn't really expecting that, but that's awesome. I'd love to chat more. This is my floor, so good luck with that. Hope to see you around.
Thanks. See ya.
Great.
Good luck with that. Hope to see you around.
So you can see here now, actually, the audio isn't quite matching. You listen to this clip here of me talking and how it compares to when Brad comes in.
Good luck with that. Hope to see you around.
Thanks. See ya.
So Brad's clip is actually peaking over 6. So we might...
Entrepreneurial educators to build really engaging, transformational online education experience.
We might want to bring that down a little bit at this point. So what we can do, because this part is pretty good.
Called e-course adventures, and we help
coming
e-course
in here
creators,
just
media
between
makers,
6
entrepreneurial.
and 12 roughly.
Thanks. See ya.
So that's part pretty loud. So what we can do is actually just bring in another little clip, bring it down and reduce that volume.
Thanks. See ya.
Bring it down a little bit more.
Thanks. See ya.
There we go. So that's a little bit better. And what I'm noticing,
But that's awesome. I'd love to chat more.
the main
This is
video
my floor, so
is actually peaking underneath 12. So let's lift that up. And I'll show you how to do that. We don't necessarily need to use the dynamics processor. What we're going to do is we're going to come into our clip mixer, actually, this is not what we want. This is for the clips themselves. What we want is the track mixer. So don't mistake in that. We're going to close the clip mixer right now. There we go. And we're going to come into Window and come down to, oh, here, Audio Track Mixer. Open that up. So this is track 1, 2, and 3. You can see this is muted, unmuted. We want to keep that muted. That's the old one. And we're going to lift up track 1 just a little bit. So maybe up to like 3.
Good luck with that. Hope to see you around. Chat more. This is my floor, so good luck with that. Hope to see you around.
It's not quite doing it for me. I can bring it all the way to 6.
Chat more. This is my floor, so good luck with that. Hope to see you around.
Thanks. See ya.
Yeah, it's kind of getting there. So that's as far as we can kind of go there. We can also expand this a little bit and even just lift the clip volume a little bit higher. So again, this is a few options. We've got the clip volume right on here, or as you would have seen again with the audio clip mixer. Here we go. You can see that represented. See how that moves up and down. I don't generally play with it here, but just to show the connection. I can move that and let's listen.
Wow, that's amazing. I wasn't really expecting that, but that's good luck with that. Hope to see you around.
Thanks. See ya.
Cool. That's sounding much better now. So a couple other options just to get your audio mixed, because audio is a very important component to good video. They say you can trick the eye, but you can never trick the ear. I'm going to now just trim these back so it's all on the same line here, so it finishes all at the same time.
Thanks. See ya.
All right, so one thing I'm noticing actually here that is kind of a fun little error in my part is as I composed this for the lesson, I decided to create the background all as one piece for simplicity. But since we're here and I'm actually walking in front of you, the character, we need that layer actually in front of you, the character. So I could have gone through and redid all these lessons up at this point to keep the integrity. Yet I think this actually allows us to look at something very interesting. And as a very efficient editor and entrepreneur, that instead of going back and redoing it, we have to be clever. And this is a good point, that often we don't always have to be perfect. So what I've done is created a new layer that's probably has been in here all along now, since I'm doing this in the past, called Blairdini. And what this is if you double click it, it opens up here, and it's a layer that has been cut out already. The black is all transparent, so this is just a layer for me, and it's just the ending piece. So what we're going to do is going to layer this over top of me here, and as I walk out, it will give the effect of walking in front of you. So what we're going to do is just going to drag this across. Actually, better yet, we're going to take here in our source. So what this is, we've got a program window, so it's showing on the timeline. The source window is a way to look at our various clips and choose where we want to take. So if this was a long clip and I wanted to just take from here to there, I could go push I on my keyboard for an in point and find the out point. I can push the out point, and therefore if I then drag, see how my hand comes here over top this drag video only or drag audio only, this will drag just that small little piece, and I can put that in exactly, just a small piece. But we want the whole piece, so I'm going to drag this back out to do the whole clip, and I'm going to drag video only up on top, and just put it on this layer. And now we're going to view.
Good luck with that. See you around.
Cool. So therefore, but when you look here, my hand isn't in the exact same spot. So we need to sync this. So I'm going to click on this using my Alt key on my keyboard and my arrow keys. I'm going to just move that actually over just a single frame. Yeah, that's 2 frames. It's 1 frame. There. That looks pretty good. And now, when we play, I now step in front of you, because before, see, you are the layer on top. Now, we're in good standing. There we go. So, but what has happened, because this layer that I've recreated here for this purpose is a different format than the original, so the color is actually going to be a little different. And you can see right there, it creates a little bit of a color shift. I want to blend that in. So if I go up to my video transitions under my effects, click that, undo this dynamic. So I'm going to delete that. There, now come down. And I will come into my dissolve folder and cross dissolve. I'm going to bring this all the way to the edge here. Make that a little smaller. And that's going to fade in. So it won't be as noticeable to our eyes. Perfect. And now that this is a little on the short side, I'll zoom in. So it's already, that's the end of this clip. What I'm going to show you is how to cut all. So when you push your C button on your keyboard, it brings your cut tool, or if you click your cut tool here, and you can cut one layer at a time, like so. Undo, undo. I can cut all layers at once by pushing the Shift key. And you can see here, it cuts all the way through. I'm going to do that here. Now it cuts all the way across. I'll select my select key, V, select all that right down, delete that using my backspace or delete button, and then now it's all perfectly timed together. All right, there we go. Now we're looking good.